Hello, everyone. This is Biz Chicks TV. This is the place where you can find tips and tools to help you do business better. We're here to help you run a profitable business that's fun to run and to take the hassle out of your hustle. And today is Friday, and we always talk tech on in English on Fridays. I'm here with my co-host, Miss Francine Gregory, real estate entrepreneur and tech diva. She is producing this show all through the week, and she is just fabulous. Girl, I had to sing your praises while you reach for, reach for your laptop. Uh, yeah, so if you're looking for some help with social media and tech, Francine's your girl. Hey, Fran, how you doing this morning?
Good.
we would,
To
yes.
everybody watching live and on the replay. And hey, Pat, uh, wanted to, before we get rolling into this, we'll do this little segment at the top. There's an event coming up in Sacramento. If you're in the Sacramento area, there's going to be a gathering of women, and the event is called Women Like Me.
Mm-hmm.
And it's the event that will bring together people from various business backgrounds. Womenlikemeevent.com. Womenlikemeevent.com. They have vendor spaces available, and it's going to be huge. Speakers, everybody. At the end of the event during the day, there will be networking.
Mm-hmm.
I believe the cost is $97. No, I know the cost is $97 for the entire day. Starts at 9, ends in the evening, like at 4:30. Then there's the mixer type networking thing that's coming up at the end of the day for $10. Just 10. And you'll be able to learn a lot for 2020 to get some clarity for your 2020, and then also opportunity to network with some amazing women. Yay! Pat said I'm going to tackle Instagram next year. I'm checking out apps like Unfold, Boomerang, Pick, Play, Post, and Hype Type. Okay, Pat, let us know because we need to know about them. I'm with the segue into the Instagram world and the tools. I've been playing with something called Linktree, but we'll talk a bit more about that when we do our segment on what is it? Our segment on
Facebook, Instagram, and group. Yeah.
Yeah. You get distracted sometimes anyway.
I know.
So I'm going to get my story for this day in tech history and pull it up here. Tech history is fun. I just like history, period.
Mm-hmm.
But this was fun. And, ooh, that's interesting. Okay. December 3rd, 2001, the Segway was unveiled. Inventor Dean Kamen unveils the Segway, a self-balancing, battery-powered vehicle on the TV show Good Morning America. Segway uses computers and motors in its base to keep itself upright while the user is riding it. Users shift their weight to control the Segway. While not considered a commercial success, the Segway has definitely become a familiar icon of personal transportation. So you've seen it, the mall cops use it.
Yes, that they're standing on. Okay. Oh, yeah, I remember that. That was 2001? Wow. Maybe. Well, anyway, I thought it was interesting, and I thought it would catch on. I really did.
But it was anyway. Then the small, now the smaller version for the kids was the
hoverboard.
Not necessarily a hoverboard, whatever the thing they stand on it, but they don't have the stick on it.
Okay.
Hey, TJ.
Hello.
Hi, how you doing? I'm pretty sure that that's a hoverboard, but okay.
The thing they ride on and it was catching fire in people's garages.
Hoverboards.
Not the hoverboard, the other one.
It was called something else?
Yeah, where they stood on it and it rolled.
Yeah. Yeah, because my
Anyway,
grandson wanted
kids
one.
have their version and the adults have the other version called the Segway.
Well, that's because as an adult, I really needed something to hold on to for my balance. My balance is nothing cool where I could just.
And with that in mind, it is a big thing for the scooters.
Mm-hmm.
And then we're not talking scooters like Vespa in Italy. We're talking scooters with the handle and the bar, like you would see a kid ride a scooter. That is major here. And you see executives, well, not all executives, but you see a lot of people using those to maneuver downtown.
Mm-hmm.
And skateboards, no, wait, that
Bikes.
and the bikes. Yeah, that and the bikes. Apparently it's big business because Uber is using them.
Mm. Okay. Good morning, Terry. How you doing?
It's just kind of interesting stuff. Okay, and my last story for today, because there's several. Business.com is big business. November 1st, 1999, the domain name business.com sells for $7.5 million.
Really?
At the time, it was the most expensive domain name sold in history and still ranks in the top 10 all-time most expensive domain names.
Mm.
So the top is voice.com, and that is $30 million. And that was in 2019. I'm like, okay.
What?
Mm-hmm. So somebody
See, to me, this, and
seriously.
it also indicates to me that if you're doing this in 2019, you might lack some imagination, because with $30,000 or whatever, I think I could hire a focus group and find some way to get around that.
Well, but if you're the voice or you're a major player in the game,
Mm-hmm.
then you're going to spend it. Like Tesla was 11 million in 2014, but they needed the name for the company, so they paid 11 million. Would you pay for your name? See, that is why TJ and everyone else that is of any value in the social media or the marketing world will tell you you need to own your name before somebody else does.
Because they will come and get it after the fact when you need it. Someone else can, because there's no restrictions. It's not like, okay, someone wants to buy Terry Johnson. There's lots of Terry Johnsons, or there's lots of names. So there's no entity saying, well, you have to prove who you are. You just go on and you just buy whatever domain you want. That's the thing that happened early on with the web in the 90s, when businesses and companies like Coca-Cola and all of those things, someone had went ahead and bought corporation domain names before the corporation found out, oh, wait a minute, we need to be on the web, on the internet. But there were people that already went ahead and bought all those domains because they were thinking ahead. So a lot of companies had to shell out money to the people that bought the domain, even though that's their brand name or their company name, because they think ahead.
Look here, California.com sold for $3 million in 2019.
Okay.
Somebody went and bought the domain years ago.
And somebody else paid for that. Because California.org is probably our official,
probably .gov.
State.
CA.gov.
Yeah, .gov probably.
Our official thing is, but somebody bought California.com.
Well, that's the story. I don't know if they fixed it, but it used to be WhiteHouse.com went to a porn site and people were going to
White House. I remember that.
But all the government agencies are .gov.
Yes, so that's something people need to know, because .com can be anything it wants to be.
Right. And if you want to, if something's available, you go to name.com, or don't go to GoDaddy, but if, any of the domain registers, you just go in there, you set up an account, you type in what domain you want. If it's available, you buy it. There's nothing to stop. There's no kind of system to say, wait a minute, are you really WhiteHouse.com? Are you really Coca-Cola, Pepsi? There's nothing to do that. You just buy it when you have the money.
And if people are willing to spend it, especially like TJ said, if your company needs it, you're going to spend it to get whatever you need, because
you take control of your narrative.
Because the everybody defaults to the .com, but like we said, with schools, they have .edu. Government is .gov. And organizations, nonprofits, they use .org. So, but most people don't default to .com. And
And Pat, go get it. It's only $12. She has nobody owns Durham, North Carolina, NC.com. Go get it. You better go get that.
That's an opportunity to. This is, remember when the gold rush and people rushed out to the West to stake their claim? This is right. Stake your claim. Somebody, some company, some business, somebody's going to come along and want that. Right. And you can sell it for whatever you want.
Yeah, that's calling owning property, digital property.
Interesting. There's nothing wrong with buying a domain and sitting on it. I have several that I buy. I think of a domain, I buy it because it's cheap. It's like $6, $8, whatever. And you buy it, and it's like buying a plot of land. You buy the land, and then you go, okay, I'm going to build something on it tomorrow, next week, next year, 5 years, or I may sell it undeveloped. Pat, you need to go to Brian's. She's got all of these
domains. And Pat, I would get up in there and try and
buy the Durham NC Media. That's one you could use for yourself.
Right, because that sounds really
official, doesn't it?
Official. Very official.
Yeah, you can do a redirect if you want, but that Durham NC Media, I would buy for yourself and hold on to it until you get the the right idea how to use it, and then just develop a landing page, or you could put a landing page on it right now saying coming soon, for developments to stay in the loop, whatever. Put the little box for the email sign up. There's your list. But when you're ready,
and then here's the plan.
Send the email out saying I'm ready. I'm introducing.
She already does DJ services, video services, and all of that. So I would do the Durham NC.com and then list DJ and they all point.
There's so many things you can do with a domain. You can buy it and hold it. You can buy it and put coming soon with a box for an email list. So when you really develop it, you have a community of people waiting to hear from you. Or you put up a landing page directing this domain to, this one isn't ready, but I'm doing something over here, Skywrite or whatever. I forgot your handle. You could direct them to the Skywriter.
Durham Skywriter.
Yeah, Durham Skywriter.
Yep.
There's lots of combinations. There's no straight path A to B in social media and doing things online and digital marketing and digital media. It's all, I'm going to buy this one thing, and that could be her podcast.
And so right now she asked the question, so you can buy a cool domain and then redirect it to your existing website. Yes,
you can do whatever you want with a domain. I have a domain that directly goes to a page on my website that shows the last live video that we did. It's a page. You can do anything you want with the domain. It's like buying a plot of land.
Right.
What are you going to do with it? I don't know, but I'm owning it right today.
This is good. This is a good reminder.
Yeah, you can buy it. what is it, $8, $10? And when you, if you haven't done anything in 12 months, renew it again for the $8 or $10. Think about the cost of, this is something for the future I'm holding on to in case I come up with an idea or I want to develop it. The best analogy is buying real estate or a plot of land or something.
And it's cheap right now because nobody else thought of it.
Oh yeah, they're cheap. And some of the domains I've seen are kind of expensive, but
right. But when you find one that apparently nobody else was thinking about,
right, buy it because it's on. What is it? $6.99, $8.99, depending on where you go. There's different places you go. Just buy them
and hold
it. And then if you don't want, I've done that a couple times too. I bought a couple domains, and when the year renewal came up, I was like, you know what? It's not such a good idea when I thought of it a year ago, and I just let it go. So you can do that. And what am I out? It was $6, $7 for the 12 months, which is what, 40 cents a month or whatever.
Yep. And then Pat says, I think I'll make it a landing page listing everything that I do and redirect it to the Durham Skywriter. It's better than an About Me page because the user doesn't have to start out knowing the name of my company.
See, Pat is on it. That's exactly what you do with it. You don't want an About.me page because that's whatever .about me. That's their domain. You want to have your own domain. It looks more. It's more professional. It elevates your brand a little than, okay, I'm just starting out. I'm going to use a free site. Nothing wrong with it, but business-wise, no. The cost of buying domains and getting a landing page is so minuscule compared to business costs that you want to do that. And the thing is, when you get the domain, say you buy DurhamNCmedia.com, you can get email to go with that. You can go to G Suite. They give you emails. It's $5 a month. Zoho Mail. I think theirs is $1 a month, and you get like 5 emails. So you get a professional sounding and looking email address instead of come at me at gmail.com. You know what I mean? People throw out their little Gmails. Or for sign up for newsletters and stuff like that. But if we're talking about being business and professional level, you want to have a domain that way you have email and you can have more than one.
And you should be able to get that if you're hosting with your domain is hosted with a good provider, not GoDaddy. If you're hosting with a good provider, you can get your emails included with the hosting.
Right, you get unlimited email, but here's the deal with that. If you change your web hosting account, say you move your website from SiteGround to A2 Hosting, the mail doesn't travel. That's why you want to sign up for G Suite or Zoho Mail, or there's a couple others. That mail stays there permanently. So that's the idea behind the G Suite.
That's good. Yes.
Once you move your hosting account, the email does not travel.
Okay. That's good to know. And then so Pat,
that is good to know.
And then she said, "Ooh, great idea. Read G Suite."
Yeah. So here, we're getting a little off track, but real quick. If you go with G Suite, you get the Gmail package. You get all of the stuff, and it's like $6? It was free. They moved it to $5. Now it's $6 a month, and I think you get like 25 emails. That's plenty for $5. Zoho Mail, they have different levels. I use them because I got in on the free package, but they have one that's $1 a month, and you get 5 emails, and you log in through the website, or you download a email client, but you get access to your email, and you want to do that. It's more work, but like I said, if you move your website from one host to the other, the email does not travel. They do not port your email over. So say you got some emails saved up from last year. Once you move from one hosted to the other, you don't get that email. It doesn't move. So you want to start out with a separate, and like I said, it's more work, but you've got more security and more tools when you're paying for that. And you do get the free email with the web hosting. Just keep that in mind.
Okay, Pat says, I use GoDaddy. I hadn't had any problems. What do you suggest?
If you don't have any problem with GoDaddy, I would say stay with them. I've never had a good experience with them. When I get a client that's on GoDaddy, I remove them. But that's me, because I'm doing advanced stuff, and I like to have. It's like working on a car. I have my own tools. I know where the wrench goes and this and that. But if you don't know, you take your car to a mechanic, right? So GoDaddy is your mechanic.
Okay, that's a nice.
They overcharge you. They may do things because you don't know, but you don't have to do the work.
Yeah, I agree with TJ. When you are trying to do the work, it is not good. I feel like I'm handcuffed.
GoDaddy restricts you from doing certain things that if you had a regular web host, that they automatically allow. And there's some technical. I don't want to get into the technical stuff. Just say if you're happy with it, Pat, then stay. That's my advice. I'm not here to convince anybody. I just know what works for me. And I've been doing websites for a long time. Mm-hmm. I even taught code and all of that other stuff. So
I concur.
But if you're happy, let me say that. If you're happy, no problems.
Stay with it if it works.
Because if you move to somewhere else, there's a level of knowledge and things you have to do that GoDaddy was doing for you.
Right.
So,
right.
I'll say that. I'll just stay where you are if you're happy.
And because especially if you're doing it yourself.
Right.
Yeah.
Because see, it's different for me because this is something I like to do, and I've been doing it for a while, and I know how to. Like I said, a mechanic. You take your car, and they know exactly what to touch, and the car starts up, and you're happy. Versus someone who knows I'll take my car back in the back of my yard and open the hood and get my wrench set, and that person is happy too. But there's a level of knowledge and expertise you have to have with fixing your own car.
Cool.
Okay. Right. So Pat is with Weebly. Stay with them. Stay. You don't have to do what I'm saying. Just make sure that you got the domain, that you got your email, set up to where you have access to it all the time. If you decide to leave Weebly or however it's set up, I don't know. Just make sure those two things, and other than that, you're good to go.
Right. Hey, Brenna. So what's happening in the world of social media?
Well, let's see. Well, Twitter had people upset this week.
No.
Yeah, they had people upset because they were going to any inactive account they were going to delete. And I wanted to pull up the exact story. Yeah, here we go. So December 11th, they were going to shut down inactive accounts. That means if you hadn't logged in, let me see. If you had logged in like, I think maybe like a year or so, they were going to shut them down. So, here it is. So they tweeted out, come December 11th, that the Twitter handle you always wanted might be up for grabs if the owner hadn't logged in for 6+ months. But now, so they tweeted that, of course, as a response. People said, well, what about my loved one that passed on 3 years ago? And I go to their Twitter account and I look at all the things that they said. And Twitter goes, oh, we didn't think of that. Now they had to change their minds and said they're not going to do it. They're going to think of another way to release inactive account that people can pick up.
And I'm looking here. They have an inactive account policy. This is from Twitter in their help section. And it's in orange. I'm like, I've never seen an orange banner before on Twitter. I'm like, whoa, what is this? Okay. What is Twitter's inactive account policy?
Yeah.
Twitter determine inactivity. These are all in there. I'm like, dang, okay.
But there is a group of people that, when you're coming on new and you want to say you have a business handle that you use on Instagram and Facebook and whatever, so you want to have the same thing on Twitter. Well, when you go to Twitter and that account is already, it's already taken by someone already signed up with that username, you cannot get it back. Even if the account is inactive for like, say, 6 years. They say that amount. Twitter does not release that handle, even though it has been inactive for 6 years or whatever the amount is, and no one has logged in and there hasn't been tweets for 6 years. So this is why Twitter was coming through with this, saying if it hasn't, you haven't logged on within 6, I think it should be 12 months, but this is them. They're going to release that account so someone could have the handle, you see.
Gotcha.
And that brought up the thing that Twitter did not think of. What do you do about people that have passed on and their Twitter accounts are still active, meaning that people still read them, their friends and loved ones. So it's like they're going to think of a way to memorialize accounts like that. So they're going back to the drawing board to redefine their policy of the inactive accounts, because people have been requesting, okay, I want this at username. The person hasn't tweeted in 3 years. Why is it not released? So Twitter is, finally getting around to that to make their users happy. So we'll see what.
Yeah, we'll see what happens. You'll know, because I got my eye on.
They're going to do something where they release, because that's a request. That's a common request from the users, that they want to set up a new Twitter account, but the handle is being used by someone who is not tweeted. And I mean, seriously, like 3 years, 5 years, 6 years, there's no tweets, none. But they can't get the account.
2008. Since 2008.
2008. So Twitter is thinking, okay, you're right. You should have access to that handle. If you want it, we have to figure out how to do it. So this, this announcement, they were just going to do a broad sweep, like just, if you haven't logged in, we're getting rid of it. So that's the outcry that came up, was like, okay, what about the people that, have passed on? Oh, we didn't think of that. So now Twitter has to rethink their policy. So I heard rumblings of having a memorialized section where, I don't know how you would set it up, that an account that is, say someone famous or, a family member or whatever, I guess you can apply to have Twitter push that in the in memoriam section of Twitter. I don't know. They would have to think of
this is going to be interesting, because what if people are calling in to have their exes memorialized and they're not?
Well, see, that's the thing. They're going to have to think of, okay, what's the best way to do this? So it would have to be some kind of checks and balances where you would have to provide some kind of documentation.
You know what I mean?
Yes. So, you don't want people saying, well, this is my ex, so I'm going to get back at them and say,
and I'm going to report it as.
No, Twitter's going to have some kind of, set of rules and regulations to match the criteria for an account to be memorialized. I think that's the term they were using. And they were going to memorialize the accounts and not, shut them off, or have a way for someone to download the tweets and release that handle. Because that's the real deal behind it, is releasing the Twitter handle, because people want their, if you're signing up, you want it to match your brand name. Yes. Like my Twitter, I started out with Twitter, so my Twitter is one thing versus Terry Johnson online, but I just explain it, or I say, okay, on Twitter I'm this, but some people don't want to do that. They want to have
all of it matching.
Yeah, they want to have it matching. They want to have their brand name match all over the social platforms.
And so,
one more thing before I get, and I was going to talk about the Peloton thing separately, but I said I'll do it today.
Okay. You jump over there to Peloton. That is why you notice the difference between getting that web domain, like we were talking about before, where you can just go in and buy your domain or whatever,
right,
and the importance of getting your domain.
Right.
It's because when you get to Twitter and Facebook and some of the other ones, it's going to be difficult to get a domain.
Yeah.
It doesn't come back around. At least with the website domains, there's a chance after a year, if the person didn't get it for 5 or 20 years, it's coming back to the market, and you
have it gets re-released back into the pool.
Yeah, but on Twitter, it's not released back to the pool.
They keep it. So that's the idea behind Twitter, removing inactive accounts is not for them. People are saying, "Oh, you're trying to be mean." No, it's they getting requests for usernames that are inactive and have been inactive for years. So, again, that's real estate, like we said with the domain that's being held that you could use, that someone needs to use if they want to start doing Twitter. Okay, so Facebook, this one thing. Go ahead.
Video for Peloton or whatever the snafu was, because
before I do that, I'm just going real quick. I've got to put Facebook in. Facebook has a photo portability tool that they're testing in Ireland. So you'll be able to port your photos from your Facebook profile over to Google Photos or to Flickr or to one of the other photo storage sites. So they're testing that out in Ireland.
Okay, but didn't your photos start off with you and your camera in the first place?
True.
Oh, okay. And so you could just take your photos from your camera and put them to Google or Flickr,
you can have your photos automatically back up to Flickr from your phone. I do it, or you could have it from Google Photos. It could automate. But a lot of people do not know about those things.
Mm-hmm.
So this must be a request, or Facebook wouldn't just do this out of the blue that people are asking them, "Oh, well, how do I get my photos off of Facebook?" Well, like Fran said, they came from a camera on your phone, so they should already be there. So, but people have, if you have a phone with a small storage size, maybe it's deleting.
Right.
So that's where you go to the Google Photos, or you go to Flickr, the Flickr app.
Right.
And it will automatically, whenever you open the app, they will automatically sync. You can do that. And here's another thing good about Google. They will give you 15 gigs of space with the Google Drive, with the Google account. So that's a lot of space for some photos. And
it is. And if you use that up, you are taking quite a lot of photos. Okay, that's just really interesting. I think Facebook is trying to keep you in its world. Don't go. This is the California.
Yeah. So, and again, I'm thinking this must have been a request. People, ask Facebook for help for different things. This may be one thing on the list that they said, "Okay, well, we'll test it." I don't know. Let's see. Now, to the story of the week. It started out on Monday. The Peloton, I don't know what to call it, the uproar. People are upset over this ad for their. So Peloton is a lifestyle fitness company that they sell a bike that's like $3,000 with an
Is it that expensive?
Yeah, an iPad device attached to the phone. The bike that allows you to have exercise classes with a real live instructor. You have to pay extra for that service. I think it's $49 a month. I have to check and see. So Peloton is going, okay, well, we got to put out our holiday ad to get people to buy this bike. So they put out a bike with this family. Is a wife and her husband and the little girl, and Christmas morning she comes up like this, and it's a bike. Oh, thank you. So she talks about the bike being afraid. I'm starting this journey. I'm so afraid, but I'm so afraid but excited. And her facial, I'm going to get back to this, but her facial expression while she's saying this is a key. So they show her like coming home from work, doing a selfie, and I'm getting on my bike. I'm so excited. And it's been a hard. So she's kind of like recording her journey for 12. And it's supposed to be for a year of her getting on the bike for Christmas, and then the next Christmas showing her and her husband are sitting on the sofa watching the video, the selfies and things that she took while she's riding the bike. Now, one. She's already thin. She was saying, why does she need the bike?
And did you see when they did the video of her showing her on the bike? Mm-hmm. Her thighs looked like they were photoshopped from a 10-year-old boy.
They were photoshopped. Those were her thighs.
Who has thighs like that?
Well, see, this is the thing. So this is the concept for the ad was you get the bike, and it's a transformational thing when you get the bike. And I'm going to speak on that too, because I did a whole research about this. First, my take. Good concept, but wrong execution. I wouldn't use that actor and actress or whoever they chose. I would get someone who was maybe a little heavier and pre-show them wanting the bike. This is where they messed up. They didn't show the lady wanting the bike. She just woke up to the bike.
And her husband had the bike.
Right. So that's where a lot of people are upset. I'm not too upset about that. That's a bad thing, but I'm just upset because this was poorly executed, because they wanted to show what's current now, where people taking selfies of, their lives changes. So you do a real person.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, not
do a real person, a real 12-month journey of transformation. Real.
They wanted to cut production costs.
They wanted to put a model, the stereotypical ad of, a thin person. Everybody's thin in life. Here she is thin. She's transforming. But no, there's no transformation.
Needed.
No transformation. So where's the transformation? Again, she got on the bike for the first time and she did a selfie, and she talked into the video, into her phone, and said, "Oh, I'm so afraid but excited." Her face, this is what they're doing. They're taking that screenshot of her face and saying that it looks like she's been a captive, because her facial expressions are one of horror and not of excitement. So you can see that. You look at her face and you're going, it's an exercise bike. Why are you so afraid, like somebody's holding a gun, like that? And
then the comments were like, is the husband forcing her to do this?
Yeah, because of the face that she made the first time. When you get the Peloton, you already know about it. So you're excited, not afraid. You're excited. I did a little background on it, that there's a whole community, and this is a good thing about Peloton. There's a whole community of people who have the bike, who love it. They even get together and they have like little Peloton conventions where they work out, and they're so excited about the bike.
Okay.
So I think Peloton wanted to show that excitement, but they, like I said, poorly executed. A lot of people online said this. My take, it should have been a real person. Show a real person. Start last Christmas with a real person getting the bike, or gifting them the bike, and saying this person was gifted the bike because they, whatever reason. Show them working out the real transformation. So then when they showed the ad this year, you would see where the person started and where they ended. So I think that's a part of the backlash, that the ad agency that did this, it was a poorly executed ad. I see what they wanted to do. They want to capture, slice of life.
The first time I saw it, I wasn't really tripping. But then as they went on to talk about it during the course of the report, I was like, oh, okay. And then they showed it again. I looked at her thighs. I was like,
right. Because everybody, see, this is another case of a brand. You have to realize that consumers know the truth.
Mm-hmm.
You can't give me a pie and say this is cake. I'm gonna be like, that ain't cake, that's pie. So a lot of brands are doing that because they think, we'll get on social media, we'll make a video, we'll do the, the selfie style on the phone. It's not real, people, and that's the disconnect. That's what everybody sees, the disconnect.
It's not authentic.
Advertising agencies, some of them are in ivory towers. I don't, because I work there. They're in ivory towers. They don't interact with real people. Even though we got Twitter, and they don't do that. They go, well, we're going to get a model, and they're going to look this way, and the family's in a $1 million home, and this and that. And that.
They was somewhere, and it was like, oh, that ain't my neighborhood yet, but okay.
Right.
And it didn't bother me that she was thin. Maybe she just wanted to stay healthy. I didn't care. I was like, whatever. I'm looking.
That's not what you finish your thought. The part where that fits is that Peloton is showing this as a transformational thing.
That is the problem.
Right.
There was a disconnect with the story.
Yes, it's a disconnect.
And the visuals.
Right. There's a disconnect.
It's like, okay, so what are you trying to lose weight? Because when she came down from downstairs
with the daughter, she had the daughter.
She's not looking like she needs to be on the bike.
Right. And not to say that they can't have an ad with a thin person for health, but that's not what they started out with. That's why the story is a disconnect. Everything's a disconnect, because to make this work, the scene before coming down to the Peloton should have been a scene of a working mother and wife. I don't have time to go to the gym.
Right. And that would have worked.
Yes.
Not like I need to lose weight.
It's just poorly executed. That's all.
Oh, nobody thought about it before they wrote it.
They're in ivory towers. They don't think that, like I said, you're giving people pie and calling it cake and telling. And here's the kicker. Now Peloton comes out Wednesday, and hold on, I want to read their little
response,
their little explanation, because the stock went down like 10. It's back up now.
Oh, shut up!
It went down, but it's back up. So there's
Peloton, Terry.
Well, I told you, $100,000. I think it went down in one day.
Yeah, it went down a lot. So here's their statement after the backlash, and the ad's been out since November 4th. So I don't know why. I think it was because it ran during a football game.
Oh,
Thanksgiving. That's why we're here. So Peloton says, we constantly hear from our members how their lives have been meaningfully and positively impacted after purchasing or being gifted a Peloton bike or tread, often in ways that surprise them. Our holiday spot was created to celebrate that fitness and wellness journey. While we're disappointed in how some have misinterpreted this commercial, we are encouraged by and grateful for the outpouring of support we receive from those who understand what we're trying to communicate. So Peloton was like, you don't like it? Too bad. Our people like it.
Right.
Also, I think they did something unusual. They apologized right away.
It's but like, that's not an apology.
Well,
you didn't get
we're sorry you took it the wrong way. That is an apology.
And that's okay. Whoever was responsible for hiring the
ad agency,
who was responsible for checking it, it was okay.
Oh, okay.
That was okay.
Right.
Because the ad agency is going to do whatever the client tells them to do.
Exactly. I'm going to say that they have to work within the parameters of the client that says we want, you pretty much have to do what they want.
Exactly. So somebody checked off on that.
Yeah.
Peloton.
Yeah, it was. Yeah.
And Peloton just didn't throw them under the bus, saying, okay, well, our ad person said this was.
Peloton is basically saying they're happy with the ad. You people who watch it and don't own a bike, you're the one that's misguided. You're the one you're the ones that don't get it. It's not about getting it. There's a way to do an ad where a customer and a non-customer are both happy with the ad. Because see now.
Okay, but TJ, back in life, in real life, everybody is not going to be happy about what you do.
And everybody is not your customer.
Exactly. That part I get.
Right.
From the ad perspective, where TJ is concerned, what they're saying, they could have done a better job because
I don't think they were talking to me. And maybe people who can afford a $3,000 bike are already thin. I don't know. Because
this is the thing. Also, they have a financing option where you pay by month for the bike.
Oh, okay.
So like Nordic Track.
Right.
And the rest of them.
In response to this ad, a lot of Peloton customers have come out in support of the bike because there's a community that they have a little community where everyone is happy with their bike. I understand that. But the deal with this ad is you want to expose your brand to those who don't have the bike.
Okay.
You mentioned that, yes, it is an expensive bike, but it's an investment in your health. And we also have payment options. They didn't do none of that. So
because they're not talking to me.
But you got a lot of people upset when you don't have. What I'm saying is you don't have to have people talking about this ad negatively. Now, it has had some advantages for Peloton because now everybody knows the brand.
Exactly.
And their stock is going up. It went down that day, but it's back up. And it's a new brand. So what do you do as Peloton? You put out this statement like, hey, we're sorry that you don't understand it. It's
exactly.
just a Peloton thing you wouldn't understand. That's what they're saying.
We didn't mean to offend
But if
anyone.
you want new customers, you have to educate them on your brand.
Maybe they don't. Maybe look.
They want customers. They want customers. They're trading on Wall Street. They want
customers, and they know which customers they want, and I guess they will be relying upon friends of the people who already use the bike.
That could very well
to promote it. You know, oh yeah, Sally has one of those.
Here's another kicker: you don't have to buy the bike to get the exercise benefit. You can use the app. They have an app that you pay like $19 a month, and you get the same workout.
On your own bike. Wait, on your own stationary bike.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
They're telling you all of that because they want you to buy their bike. Oh, and then you have to have the shoes with the bike.
Right. Well,
of course.
You get the Peloton experience and the community when you buy the bike.
Oh.
You get that experience. They have a whole thing where everybody who love their bike. And a lot of people said that they didn't buy it for weight loss. They bought it for health, and also the fact of they're too busy to go to the gym. What I'm saying is, on an advertising level, this failed because they didn't execute any of the messages that needed to go out. All they put out was the husband buying the wife a bike. They didn't show her asking for the bike. She might have asked for the bike. They didn't show that. So you got a lot of people in this Me Too world who are upset because they're saying it's the same thing as buying your wife a blender or something.
A washing machine for Christmas.
Washing machine, yes.
They were privy to the conversation before, like, I want to make a better smoothie, get me the blender. So they weren't privy to that conversation. So, you know.
So you got you have the I'm not saying this in a negative way, but the feminist part of it where it's like, why did the husband buy her a bike? You have to show the intent when you're telling a story. They didn't tell the whole story. They just assumed in the ivory tower that we know that, you know, the husband buys the wife.
Because she asked for the bike, but we don't know. Okay.
You didn't show that. Show it. Like 10 seconds of her rushing to get to from work to the gym to home. Oh, I got to get home because I got to whatever. But I got to get to the gym. And then cut to Christmas. She got the bike. So guess what? She doesn't have to do all of those things. She can just come home and get on her bike and be with her family.
Okay, I have a question. Mm-hmm. I have a question. Okay, so when you see these car commercials, you know, and then it ends with the person coming out and there's a bow on the car, okay?
Yeah.
Is there a build up to that?
Well, see, this is a different thing.
Here's a shiny new car.
But see, this is a different thing. We're all conditioned for the new car at Christmas. Everybody's conditioned for that.
Because they just show it going through the snow and you know.
Everybody's conditioned to that you know, everybody, you know, you want a car for Christmas and you put a bow on it. But see, the Peloton thing is connected to exercise and health and weight issues, which is
self-esteem,
and we're talking millennials now. Here we go again. This is millennial and Gen Z outrage. This is not baby boom outrage.
I'm wondering because I'm like,
this is
I told you I didn't get it at first till they started.
That's why I always talk about millennials and Gen Z, because when you're talking branding, when you're talking advertising, what you see on TV, every ad, everything, every conversation media-wise is geared toward millennials. So it's a millennial mindset, which is totally different from the other generations. That's the key here also.
That's true.
I feel threatened that he bought me a bike.
Well, I am offended that he bought me a bike.
Like, what are you talking about? It's a bike. I don't get it. That's why I always talk about there's a shift in mindset with media, with ad spend, with advertising. It's a different flow, a different conversation, a different level. That's why generationally, you're not going to get it because we're on another level. Like, well, okay, it's just a bike. But I see
I'm looking at the comment on this Twitter ad. I mean, on this YouTube ad from that commercial.
It's entertaining.
This is I'm not going to mention the person's the commenter's name. She said, "We know damn well if she was fat, people would be mad too."
I mean, either way, I'm thinking the same thing.
But that's millennial thought. It's everything's cancel culture or outrage culture or this or that. That's where we are now when you talk about media. You talk about media.
Well, can you see that her struggling to get on the bike if she's overweight? You know,
that's not the call either. That's not to show an overly overweight person is not the call. This is simply a storytelling fail. This ad could have worked as is if they had simply put at the beginning the part, like I said,
with desire for it.
She's rushing to the gym from work to the gym because she wanted to get home to be with her daughter and her husband. And oh, I wish, something like that, a bubble. It could have been like 10 seconds pre to her coming down. That's the part that's missing. And it's because that it's a millennial mindset with media. A lot of media agencies and advertising agencies, like I said, in the ivory tower, a lot of older people, they're not thinking.
Well, my thing is, basically what they did was they didn't tell you what problem they were solving.
It wasn't right. There's a story.
So I don't know if that's really different. It's just that, the people want to know what problem is this solving?
People would have still been upset because the husband bought the gift, even if we had started out. Yes, there are people that just, nitpick and get upset, but it would have been a smaller number and you wouldn't have heard so much if they had just did the story right.
I want to know. Well, no, I really don't want to know. It blew up because it got to some mainstream media, because normally this wouldn't been.
It was, like I said, it was on football. It was on during football, one of the football games of Thanksgiving. Thanksgiving means everybody's at home.
And everybody's eating.
Millennials and boomers and Gen X and everybody's at home watching the game, and then
Terry said everybody's at home eating.
It's Thanksgiving, right?
You ate your dinner, you sitting around watching. The football game is on somewhere, and
now you're eating wings.
Then there's another comment here. It says, only in 2019, receiving a $3,000 gift is an offense. Seriously.
I believe. Okay.
That was the response. A lot of people said, I would like one for Christmas.
And like, give me one. I'm cool with that. I'm thinking, y'all.
It's a disconnect between, this is where we are with brands and some advertising agencies that don't understand. Like I said, I know I've been in there. They're in their little ivory tower, and it's not like they're not on the street listening to conversations or being on Twitter or being on you. They're not picking up the vibe of it's a millennial mindset with media now, and there's certain things that they will not let slide. They used to slide before. It used to be okay to do this, that, and that, or to say this and that. It's not okay. And unfortunately, millennials 35 and under, we're talking about, that's the group that advertisers want. 18 to 35.
There's a good point here. It wouldn't have worked the other way around had she bought the bike for him.
Why?
It wouldn't have worked.
It's a men's health bike. Also.
Yeah, but it would.
The only way it would have worked if they'd done the setup, the pre-setup of either one of them asking for it or thinking of it.
Right. That probably would have worked.
But that's not usually how the bike comes to be for men if we buy it. It's because we know they need to do something about their heart or their health, right? Or something's going on.
But you said this is the deal with this ad. There was no setup to intent. You have to have intent. You have to have intent.
There was no reason why.
Any story has to have the setup of intent.
The other comment said, my issue was that the woman was annoying and so self-absorbed that she actually forced her husband to watch the video she made of herself on the bike.
Yeah, they watched it at the end. So it was supposed.
That must be a guy. He's like, I don't want to see all that.
There were so many missteps. The copy said about a transformational year in my life. So a bike is a transformation, but it is. With the Peloton community, it is. Because I went in and I read some of the things that were said by people who own the bikes, who were like, what are you talking about? This is the greatest thing ever. It's changed my life. And a lot of people said they weren't overweight, but they got on the bike for cardiovascular. for
There
health
you go.
reasons and whatever. But this is the deal. The ad did not address any of those things. They were trying to attract millennials.
Yeah, here's the thing. We are all talking about Peloton.
Yeah.
And running out to go buy one.
Exactly.
They're happy. And guess what? In 2 weeks, nobody will remember this ad.
But this is like the chicken wars. It'll go up.
Yeah.
And
Popeyes.
Chick-fil-A and Popeyes will be the factors.
And this is also a great learning opportunity for us. The stock went down 1.5 billion and it's back up.
It's back up. So the deal was when you saw the range and the stock going down, that was the time to buy.
Yes.
Pat comment is good.
Go ahead, put it up.
Okay. Pat says that it was transformational because now they have to make monthly payments on that $3,000 bike.
Transform that budget, huh, Pat?
It's really interesting. Yeah.
But also, I just think it's very interesting that everything is around community. It's just such a change, generational change, because we are, I don't know, but most baby boomers are pretty independent. They're pretty like, I'm going to do this. I'm going to, I.
That's why I like to talk about the millennials, the Gen Z versus the Gen X and the boomers, because there's such a divide with the mindset, and it's coming across in media, on TV shows, on advertising. This is a good example of it. Like, there's a lot of people like, what are you talking about? I would take a $3,000 bike. The millennial mindset is looking at the setup of the story, because that's what Peloton was trying to do, was trying to attract the millennial mindset, the millennial group, with the things that they do, the selfie, but they executed it wrongly because it was a fake story.
Right.
It was fake throughout the whole thing. If you're going to do this, do a real person, get an influencer. But a lot of brands and that are large like this, they're afraid of influencer marketing or doing reality marketing, I like to call it, where you do a real person. Give them the bike.
Yeah, pick somebody who owns one of the bikes and had a successful journey and just tell their story.
But you have to you have to record that day one journey. You have to start.
Right. So you might want to select someone to
start a campaign for 2020.
A smart brand would have done that. They're not smart. And then I see the intent, but it was executed poorly because they put in, models or actors, and honestly, the actress wasn't really that great, because instead of showing excitement, her whole thing was like she was scared. And people pick up.
Well, that was the script, though.
You can't get somebody pie and tell them it's cake, because I know what excitement and happiness is supposed to look like, because we're humans. So.
And there was a backlash against the guy who played the husband. I was like, why? He's an actor. People got issues.
The husband didn't say any. He was silent throughout the whole thing. I don't have an issue with him. I have an issue with.
In real life, somebody had issues with him. I was like, okay.
Yeah, they were commenting on the fact that
all of this comes from the ad not being real, from being fake. We're in an era now, millennials, I'm talking about, and Gen Z, no fake a mile away, and they ridicule it and they poke fun at it. That's why you get memes. That's why you have this and that. A brand has to realize, a company has to realize, you have to walk a fine line with them if that's your target and that's who you're trying to attract. Fake does not work with them. Doesn't work. So great storyline. It could have been a great storyline if they did a real person. Well, last year, start a campaign. We're looking for someone who's going to transform their life with a Peloton bike. If that's you, enter this and you'll win a bike and you'll document your journey for 12 months.
Right. Oh, exactly. This was a Truman story. That's what this was.
Yes. That's what I mean. You have to see the divide. There is a divide. Millennial mindset in marketing and media right now. They do not like anything fake. Nothing. And they see fakeness. They know it. It's like seeing a real tree and a plastic tree. I'm going to give you a plastic tree and say, here's a real live Christmas tree and I'm going to put the fake smell on it and everything. You're going to say that's a fake tree. And you're going to like make fun of it. And this is what happened.
Wow.
One of the ad, they made memes. They talked about it. They parodies. One lady did a whole parody of the whole ad.
Oh, that's so cold.
But people got too much time on their hands.
You get more.
I really believe that, Francine. People just don't have anything else to do. It's just like, really, because when they start talking about the husband and how he was potentially body shaming the wife,
because they're reading things into it, because the door was open to analyze the ad in that way, because
they didn't set the parameters.
Yeah, they didn't set it up right. So they opened the door to this. Brenna says, hold on, let me bring up Brenna.
It's simple.
Yeah, she said it's simple. Mm-hmm. Go ahead.
She said it's simple. It's not part of my journey. I won't comment. Besides, didn't see the commercial.
See? Now, see, the thing is, commercials now, they're on YouTube. So you don't have to watch TV. I didn't see that on TV.
Like the Pepsi one.
This was so impactful with the $1.5 billion loss. That's why it made the news. And because I streamed the news on my TV, it came on. I was like, oh, okay, what is this?
And again, we're in an era where media will pick up stories from Twitter and Facebook, where there's social outrage or people talking, because that's how journalists are. They used to, before social media, they would just go out in the town and just find whatever story and do the story. Now they go to Twitter, and it's really easy to see a backlash or a buzz or a viral thing. It's easy to see. It's easy to see because it's a trending on Twitter.
So the journalists are now chasing ambulances.
Oh yeah, they journalists have been doing this for a while on Twitter. This didn't just start today. They've been getting stories, and then journalists on the local news or the national news. This is where they go.
Yeah, because we have citizen
reporters,
journalists now. Where the people with the cameras. So now they have to follow something that's trending on Twitter that somebody else saw. That was maybe somebody. Oh, look at that, Mildred. And other people are running the media now.
And I really wanted to talk about it to explain why this is happening. Now you see the connect between advertising, media, branding, and Wall Street financial. You saw that with the stock going up and down. There's also the connect with generations and media, and how media and advertising is portrayed now, today. It's a millennial mindset, and you may not get it. Honestly, you may not get it. And guess what? It's okay.
Okay. Because I really didn't get it when I first saw the ad. I was like,
everything's on a different wavelength with them. And this is, whenever there's the outrage like this, I go, okay, there's that millennial media mindset that's happening now. So, and Peloton, they took a hit, but now they're back. They've got more, people know more about the bike and the brand, and some, don't care. So they're just like, whatever. So,
well, I learned something. I learned about the fact that they have the live person coming in on the internet. I didn't know that.
Yeah, they have instructors, and they have you can join the exercise class live, or you can get on whenever you want and get a recorded class. But there's a community. They're on Facebook and I forgot where else, and they're a community, and they get together and they have Peloton things where like people get together and they all work out together in a big rush and everything. So that's why you have the response from Peloton saying that their customers get it, because they do. because that's a life. It's like more like a community lifestyle thing. So we're on the outside looking at it, going, okay, it's a $3,000 bike. You all of those things, but you can get the Peloton experience on the app. They have an app. Just put it on. I guess if you have an iPad, I don't know how you set it up, but you can do it without the bike. So if you already have a stationary bike, that
you can still be a part of the community, just not branded.
Right. So they got a little thing. They've got their own little world going on, and that's that. But that's the outrage, is that there's so many things to look at, and it opened the door to people getting outraged to where it even got upset. They even got upset with the guy who playing the husband, which he said nothing. Why are you upset with him? He said absolutely nothing.
He did something. He bought the bike.
But he didn't do it. All he did was stand there and watch the thing with the wife. So, I mean, this is a good example of, like I said, where media is going, to advertising, and the way they think and what's going on. And the way you win is thinking on their level.
Okay.
That's the group that you're going after. They don't.
Well, I'm not sure I understand Lakeisha's comment, guys. Can y'all put that up?
She says they have different numbers or they're lost. I'm not sure.
And she might be talking about the
1.5 billion.
Yeah.
Oh, the numbers were thrown around and how much they lost, but they're back. That's how the market goes.
It does.
So.
Yeah, and all in the same week. It's like, okay.
But they were able to withstand a snafu. I sent the wrong message out. Okay, so learn from it.
Well, they're saying they didn't send them.
Oh, never mind. They're not owning up to that.
Yeah, they're okay. They're saying we're okay because our people understand us. We talk the Peloton language. But where I see this goes wrong is that it was fake. The copy was saying something about transformational lives. There was no transformation. So that's what I mean. You have to show what's happening. And a better way would have been to get a real person and to accept at the end of the 12 months if they got thin or not. They would have gotten healthier, no doubt. But the thinness or losing weight part of it, they wouldn't have, you don't emphasize that. You emphasize the healthy part of it with a real person. So, but I think they were too afraid to do that. And a lot of corporations are afraid to do that. Yeah, they're afraid. They don't want because they can't control. Before social media, companies and brands could control their message. They can control it with a TV ad, with a TV show. They control the placement of everything.
Because they can razzle dazzle you with all of this, and you're not paying attention to what's really going on. You just have access to the real story.
Because there was no social media the way we have it now, where people have a voice. Customers have a voice, good or bad. You've seen that with hashtags on Twitter and where else. The good one was the NYPD did one about tell us your NYPD stories, thinking it was going to be happy stories. But I'm thinking, NYPD, come on, you know what's going on. So people got on with the hashtag, and there was a lot of negative stuff. Also, McDonald's
support that campaign.
Wow.
Yeah, that was dumb. McDonald's had one about your Mickey D stories or something. That was another one that they're thinking everybody's got happy McDonald's stories, but people came out with, I bought the burger and it wasn't cooked, or I did this and that. You cannot control the narrative anymore. So a lot of brands are afraid to let influencer marketing in, which works because it's kind of word of mouth, or this I like to call reality marketing, where you get a real person to do it because they cannot control the end message. They can't. But you don't want it this day and age with millennials and Gen Z. You don't want to control it. You want it to be what it is and let them interpret it, good or bad.
So this means that you must be on your A game about your product or your service.
Yeah.
You are
confident in what you have.
Right.
And let it be. So Lakeisha got a really big, let's see what that, go ahead, read that.
Okay. Do you all watch This Is Us, where the wife feels some way about her husband losing weight and she's not, and she's just had a baby? It assumed that they had baby and he wants her to be in shape. She's like, I'm just a baby. I just had a baby. I don't have time, etc. Leave me alone. Commercial show, she was happy about it, and she may not have been.
See, well, the thing that with that particular show, she was overweight. And she was heavy in the beginning. And so, so you'd have to go back to the story. She has always gone back and forth.
Is this the actress at the larger one? So she had a baby? Because I've seen the ads. I haven't seen the show.
Yeah, the show is that she's having a baby, but she was still overweight.
But he wants her to lose the weight after having a baby?
I don't think that's it. He's losing weight and she's not.
Oh, he's losing weight and she's not. Okay.
Well, because guys tend to lose weight faster anyway.
Well, see, we got it. There's another thing, and then you want to blame millennials, go right ahead. There's another thing where you can't fat shame people anymore, and this comes along with singers like Lizzo and some of the other people that are saying, like, you know, they in the old days, a record company would have told her to lose weight, to be thin, but now it's a new day, so she can come out as she is. Adele was that way also when she came out. She was a different shape. People accepted her, but now you have millennial and Gen Z attitudes about you can't tell the person that they're overweight or whatever. You have to accept them as they are. The body acceptance movement or whatever it's called. So you got that in there. Then you have the older generation not understanding, well, what's going on, that you can't talk about somebody's journey or whatever. So that's where they're writing this in to the show, where she's feeling some way about having a baby, and then I guess the husband losing weight, so she feels like, well, we're not on the same level or something.
And you know, I guess they're trying to script from real life.
Right.
Maybe they're trying to draw from real life and they may not be getting that quite right. But
but see, that's another example of in today's media atmosphere, I would stay away from, but they're doing it. But as a brand and doing this, you might want to stay away from anything about what this person needs to lose weight or that person, whatever. You got to frame it differently is my thing.
So Keisha said they both were big and were committed to losing, but she became pregnant and now she doesn't feel like losing it.
Okay. Well, they both were on the same level.
And okay, so she just changed her mind about the commitment she had made.
Okay, got it.
Okay.
But see, now they're saying that it's okay for her to do that. That she doesn't have to lose the weight because she had a baby. It's hard to explain that the sentiment of it's hard to explain. The sentiment is different from where, if you know, back before social media, the sentiment is different about everything like that.
You mean the truth is coming out?
What happened?
You mean the truth is coming out?
There's
no filter on the truth.
Oh, there's no filter. It's just a different vibe. It's really hard to explain. It ties into this Peloton thing, which is why they did it to someone who was a little overweight, which I think they should have. But
yeah, would have sold it a little better.
Right, make it real, not an actress, actor, like maybe a real couple.
Right. So and then the other thing is it's gonna be, you're not gonna please everybody.
Right. That too.
Gonna be the thing. Somebody's just not gonna like you, your product, or whatever. It's okay. And the weight thing,
okay, Brenna, we'll see you later.
Bye, Brenna. Yeah, I don't watch This Is Us. I just know
I'm not familiar with it either, but
I just know from the commercials.
With the whole weight thing is somebody's health.
Right.
If they're underweight or overweight, I'm concerned about their health.
Right.
And so if I'm your friend and I see you
struggling,
going up and up and up and up, we know this is not good for your
heart, yeah,
your heart, your whole body. You got to say something if you love the person. Not that we're going to shame you. We're just going to say, hey, I'm concerned about your health.
Right. And there's nothing wrong with that.
Because if somebody is too skinny, you're still concerned about their health.
Yes, that was another thing that came out. People were saying someone said that because they were thin, but they still had health issues and they had to bite because, being thin doesn't mean that you're in perfect health. It just means that you're thin. That's all. That's all. It's like this ad struck a nerve. It got a conversation going. People, going left and right, which they're always going to do with Twitter and whatever conversation. And like I said, we're talking about it this week, and next week it'll be something else to go along with. So it's like, Peloton said what they said. They're like, our people know us. We're okay. Our stock went back up. Thank you very much. Goodbye. So,
wow.
That's in a nutshell. But I always look at it from the ad side of it, because that's where I came from. So I know what's going on the ad side.
I am so glad you understood, because I was just like, okay, they had to explain it to me.
I understood that it was a bad ad that started a conversation that opened the door to a lot of other conversations. I'll put it like that. Where everybody got attacked because it was a bad ad. It was bad. It was very bad.
All of those people were all up in their feelings, boy. That was like
it was very bad. And if you want to reach millennials, you have to understand their mindset, and they don't understand their mindset.
Wow. Well, that right there.
Yeah, that's the key, because everybody else is like, well, what's the deal? I don't see anything to get upset about. It's the same thing where they rewrote the song "Baby It's Cold Outside."
Oh yeah.
Remember that a couple months ago, that John Legend and somebody re-recorded the song because they're saying that the old version of the song was kind of like the guy is trying to keep the woman there against her will. So and I'm telling you, it's because of the millennial mindset. They see things differently.
For real.
You do. Yes, they see things differently. So I always tell myself, I said, it's through the millennial mindset, the millennial filter of they see things differently, and that's why there's the disconnect. That's why I always love to talk about them, because you have to understand they see things differently than we did. Because everything that was okay back in the day is not okay.
All right.
It's not. It's not. And I have this conversation a lot with my friends and people I know. I'm like, it's a millennial mind. You have to understand it's coming through their eyes, not ours. Things have changed. Yes. So be okay with that. And if you don't understand it, let it go.
It's okay. I mean,
if you don't understand the Peloton, just go. And just move on. It's a millennial thing. That's all I'm gonna say.
Oh my goodness.
And I'm just interested in it because it was an ad, and I was like, I know that it was bad and why it was bad. So that's why.
Yeah, it really went south.
It was just, a bad storyboard and bad story setup. The execution was poor, and so many things. But
so what can we learn from this? We must tell people why they should use our product.
Don't assume that everybody knows
that people know
the story about your business or why you do it, because Peloton has a community of people who care about their health. It's not weight loss, it's health. They should have told the story. Always frame your story as a business around you and what you do and why you do it. And don't conform to whatever everybody else is doing. See, they threw in the selfie thing, like the lady was, doing her phone but it didn't connect because it wasn't real. So when you're doing stories or selfies or you're on social media, make it real and not too real now. I'm not saying show every, but
detail.
Yeah, you don't have to storyboard and plan it. Just,
don't overshare people.
Today. Just get on. This happened to me today. And you can do a live, you can do a story, you can do a post, you can take a picture and say, this is what happened to me today. Isn't this funny? Blah, blah, blah. How many of you feel that way? Boom. And you leave it in their hands. If you get response, good. If you don't, move on to the next thing. But it's all about getting the conversation started. So Peloton did the right thing, getting the conversation started. That's
absolutely.
So that's the key takeaway from here. Don't be afraid to go the real route and saying, this is what's going on. Or, I was expecting this deal to happen, but it didn't, but I'm okay. I'm going to move on. I'm going to work on the next thing. Or my goal is this, that, and that. and this is my journey to the goal. Stuff like that. As long and you do it in a level where you're comfortable. Like I said, you don't show every, it's not let it all hang out. It's just, this is my thought for the day. And how many of you are thinking that way? And you might get a couple of people saying, yeah, you're right. I never thought of it, or yeah, I'm feeling that way, or whatever it is that gets the conversation going. That's really the true tool for social media. The way you use it is to get the conversation going between you and your audience and people who might, want to buy from you or buy into you or your services, your community, whatever you're trying to do. That's the key takeaway.
All right. Oh my goodness. We are going to wrap this up because I think that's a good note to close on. The whole fact that before we put something up on social media, we need to think the story through.
Yeah, and figure out who. Just have an idea of this. I have a thought, and I'm just going to go with it. And you can just, just free talk it, or free, don't write down and then read from a prompter. Not like that, but have a plan to what am I accomplishing? What is the message I want to get out there? And just do it the way you want to do it. Doesn't have to be live. Doesn't have to be a selfie. Doesn't have to be a story. It could be a podcast. It could be an audio clip. It could be so many things. That's the key. So many ways to say your message. Yes. So many tools. Just pick the one you like and use it.
And be good with that.
Yeah, be good with that. It's okay.
Be okay with whatever you decide.
You could take it down if you don't like it. Just delete it.
Well, it might be generating conversation.
Yes.
And just because people don't agree doesn't mean that's not good conversation.
No, like I said, we had Peloton brought up all of these people are having conversations. People are saying, well, one guy put on his Twitter, like, oh, I'm giving my wife, he had pictures of Tiffany bags and stuff. Well, this is what I give my wife. So they had a whole conversation about it. So it just branches off into different things. So that was the good thing about it, that it had people talking.
Well, Pat's got a comment.
Okay. Let's bring that up and go ahead. The only problem I have with Peloton is that they missed the point that advertising is an invitation to shop. Right. By saying that their customer get them and that's all that's important is wrong. You're not supposed to eliminate potential customers. Exactly, Pat. Exactly. I said that earlier. That's the goal of advertising, is a brand wants to bring more customers into the fold. And that's what they wanted to do. And when they saw it go wrong, they put out, I don't agree with the statement that they put out. They could have said something else, but you're right. This is the goal of advertising, is to get more customers and bring them into the fold, and not saying, well, you don't get us. We're over here in Peloton community and we're all happy. Ha ha ha. That's kind of like what I got from the statement. I'm going, well, why are you in business if you don't want new customers? And it's not even about the price tag, because they have installment plans. If you really wanted to buy your loved one, or you wanted one for Christmas, your incentive to buy, there was no roadblock to buying. But they put up one with this stupid ad and getting people talking about it in the wrong way. That's what got me. It was the wrong conversation. They got a conversation from the wrong one, but. Right. And like he just said, to gain more clients. Right. That's the idea. Every business wants more clients, more customers, increase their audience and stuff. And for them to say that is just, they know they did wrong. They just didn't want to
own up to it.
A good brand would have gotten in on the fun with the memes and stuff. Oh, you caught us, ha ha ha, we messed up, and then reworked the ad as a meme. But like I said, advertising.
They did have people were putting up memes.
Peloton, you get in on the fun, but they're in the ivory tower. They're not millennial minded thinking, and that's the market they want. So you have to be in it to understand, and they're not in it. So that's it. Moving on. There'll be another outrage or something going viral.
You will.
Give it time.
Yeah. Tomorrow. Yeah. Mm-hmm. This is this week's story. There'll be one next week or the week after or whenever. So
Fran, tell us again about this event that's coming up. Women Like Me?
WomenLikeMeEvent.com coming up on January 20th, 2020. It's all about getting in position in 2020. Going to have several speakers. If you go to the website WomenLikeMeEvent.com, and you can be a vendor there. You can put in. You can be a vendor. You can even. There might be 2 speaker spots available. But go there. You can be a vendor. At the end of it all, there will be a networking event for all women. And it's for women, by women, getting together from whatever, instead of all of us being in, okay, well, this person's, it's sponsored by a lot of groups. Tapestry Biz Chicks, Marlise's transformational events. A lot of women coming together instead of all of these different.
A collaboration.
It is a collaboration for 2020 is huge. It's $97 to get in. And if you're not going to the event, it's just $10 to attend the networking at the end of the day. So it's a huge collaboration event. Everybody who's in the sound of my voice is invited to attend.
Oh, sounds good.
More details to follow, but the majority of the information is over there at WomenLikeMeEvent.com, and learn more about it. See how you can participate.
Get your ticket.
Get your ticket. We look forward to seeing you there. It's going to be well worth the attendance.
Okay, guys.
Yeah.
We want to remind you to tune in Monday when we'll be having coffee, tea, thoughts, and conversations. There's always something going on here over on Biz Chicks TV. TJ, we want to thank you so much for tuning in, for sitting in with us all the way from New York City.
Today, TJ,
what's that?
Francine, thank you so much. You're always such a great producer. And I just want to say to everybody, don't forget to go to the front of your own line. Have a great day. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.